Hey, hi guys, welcome back. All right, Cancerians. So first off, every day all the way throughout to the end of this month, all the way till February 1st, I'm going to be doing a card pull for a subscriber. If you would like to enter to win, go ahead and just write hashtag tarot dog in the comment section. That gets you entered. By the way, just so you guys know, the upload schedule for Cancerian videos all the way through the end of this month is I'm going to put one out every other day. Okay, so today is Saturday the 20th, so that means the next one will happen on Monday. So I'll skip Sunday and I'll do Monday instead. On the off days when I'm not doing the Cancerian video throughout this month, I will be doing a card. And then don't forget that every single day on this channel, I put out a collective message. And that's where you guys can make a suggestion on the topic. You also can enter to win a free card pull there as well, all the way till the end of the month. At the end of the month, we'll see if this is helping my Cancerian crew. I probably won't continue to do such frequent Cancerian videos unless I see the viewership that is, indicating that yes, people want more Cancerian videos, and then we'll just go from there. So this is kind of like our little trial period to see how this looks. All right. So at the end of this video today, I will be pulling a card for one of our winners. So stick around to the end, and here we go. What is the message for today? Message for today. Ooh, we have a 10 of Swords. We have a 5 of Cups. Boy, somebody is standing here with the roadmap of life, and it's like, where do I go now? There's a beautiful, beautiful song by, I think it's November Ultra. And it's in it says, where do I go when I've been everywhere? But I belong nowhere but in your arms. It's a very beautiful, very short, beautiful song. I'm going to say this. It doesn't have to be that someone is lost because they don't, have love in their lives, or that they're pining for someone per se, but it could certainly be the sensation of like, where's home now? Something has ended. What has ended for a character? 5 of Coins, 10 of Wands, the Chariot. Okay, so the Cancerian moved on. For this storytelling, we have a Cancerian that has moved forward. If Cancerian was more or less giving this person a free ride, Cancerian said, I got to stop doing this. I got to go. I'm taking off. I'm going down a different road. I got to make a new decision. And I mean, this is the Chariot. This is Cancerian says, I don't want to play this checkmate game anymore. If this Cancerian had been carrying somebody along, whatever Cancerian leaves with, you would actually assume that they're the ones who only have what's on their back to carry. But this Cancerian has their freedom. And so this could be not about romance, right? This could be about career path. This could be about a roommate situation, anything that Cancerian has moved out, has moved on, has moved along. And it doesn't matter if they're leaving behind a whole bunch of stuff. It's like, that's fine. Doesn't matter. What I care more about is my freedom from this situation. I don't want to do whatever this continual tit for tat was, whatever this situation. I think that Cancerian is needing to walk a different path. But the thing is, walking a different path is making somebody feel Cancerian's absence. So whomever this character is over here. Let's change decks and let's just give them a little chance to talk. What is this really about? Is this about a roommate situation, a housing situation? Cancerian's like, no, I'm not going to renew my lease. I mean, it could be, we got the moon in the reverse. It's something that we have Pisces over here. So Cancerian could have been dealing with a Piscean. It could have been a situation where something has been revealed. We have a Page of Swords, and this Page of Swords has a woman who doesn't have clothes on, but she's covered in dragon tattoos. Now, of course, this is Year of the Dragon. Sorry, I have to give her a little hidden screen here. But it is almost as if, because dragons are associated with dreams in my mindset. Our dreams, our wish, our hope. Year of the Dragon is kind of like a year with tons of like desires to make dreams become reality. It's a year of action taking. So I'm going to say this keeps feeling like we have we have a situation where whomever Cancerian was dealing with, they knew that someday Cancerian was going to move on. It's maybe they didn't expect it to be so soon, but I don't really think that it's that big of a shock. I just think that they didn't want it to happen. If this is a Cancerian who's giving their 2 weeks notice to a career path, and it's like, I know Cancerian has other dreams, and I knew that they were going to move on at some point. The only thing is, for me, this kind of looks like for Cancerian to have stayed there. I don't think they were being paid very well. If this is about a career path, it was something that maybe they really liked who they were working for, but there were some elements that they didn't. It was instead of it being just completely black or white, it was that checkerboard. It was always like a bit of I don't know if Cancerian felt like it was this perpetual game of almost manipulation tactics, but it feels like it was a burden. Maybe moving on was a burden too. Maybe it's like Cancerian saying, I do care, but at the same time, I gotta have something more for myself. Let me put it in this context, because this just popped into my head. If Cancerian wasn't earning enough money, heck, maybe it was costing them money to be there. Maybe they were driving too far, spending a ton of money in gas. Whatever this is, there's an energy of like, I can't be a pauper and have a bunch of skills that that I have, but I'm not actually being compensated for. And as much as I hate to leave, there's also this emotional ploy that I think someone was able to use. Maybe Cancerian was like, always told how great they were, but there was no monetary compensation that could have allowed them to stay put. Or if it was a roommate situation, it's like, oh, Cancerian, I don't know what I'd do without you. You're the best roommate ever. And it's like, yeah, but I'm spending a lot to live here. And honestly, I could afford a much bigger place and do it differently. Maybe they were helping someone out. I keep feeling like Cancerian was helping somebody out more than what they were receiving, but that wasn't exactly what the scenario was supposed to have been. And there was this constant push and pull. Seems like for everything that Cancerian would maybe get pulled into doing, if they would try to put up a boundary, maybe then the boundary would still, either the boss or the roommate would find a creative way to push a boundary that Cancerian tried to set. And I feel like that was a repetitious thing. It was a back and forth all the time of a checkmate. And I think that even if it wasn't necessarily that someone was doing it with the worst of intentions, I still think that got tedious. So let's say, for example, Cancerian worked in we'll say like a nonprofit or something where, tons of hours doing it because it's this altruistic purpose, working, but I also have bills I have to pay. I have skills, and I wanted to donate time, and I wanted to work in this industry, and I wanted to do this for all the right reasons. But I still kind of feel like there was an element where I think Cancerian, in their mind, it was like, there's a little bit of me feeling like I'm being taken advantage of, but I also know why the workload is so heavy, or I know why, I've been here and helping a roommate pay their rent. But in truth, how much self-sacrifice can I do? I think I have to go ahead and move on, because I got to remember I have other dreams. And I really think that this character over here, who's really feeling the loss right now, they know that Cancerian has broken free and is not coming back. And they're a little bit, I'm going to say they're a little bit helpless at the moment, but my impression for that is, well, never mind. Kate will zip it. What do we say about that? Tell me about that situation. What's the universe got to say to that person? We have got the Seven of Cups sideways and the Four of Swords sideways. We've got the Queen of Wands upright and the Princess of Swords upright. Yeah, okay, so now I can say it. What I was going to say is, it kind of seems to me that should a character have been hanging their hopes or their business plan or their living situation upon the benevolence of the Cancerian, or should they maybe have been making their own plans, look at their own situation, and maybe take a little bit more responsibility for solving problems that didn't rely upon, as long as Cancerian's here, my problems are good. I kind of think that this character needs to take a look at, what do they really want? How do they want to run their company, or how do they want to, because I almost feel like, look, maybe this was, say it was a roommate situation, then this person could have been very proud, like, oh, I live in this really fancy place. Yeah, but they can't afford it on their own, but they want to give off that air of, I want to feel like I live in a very fancy place. It's up to my standards. But if they could only afford that rent, as long as cancerian is there paying half or maybe 2/3 of it, they need to figure out their own financial situation. They need to mend their own financial situation. They need to solve that problem. And they were never going to do it as long as cancerian was there. If it was someone who maybe they were in a role of like, oh, I run this amazing nonprofit, and they were kind of, they want that to be what's associated with them. They care about it genuinely, but there's also a little bit of a, like, I feel very elevated that I can walk around and I can say I do this, or I'm the CEO. Yes, but if they were perhaps not really carrying the bulk of the workload, they're going to need to figure out the confusion about how do I make this all happen? Maybe I don't have as much time to go out and be in the public eye and promote. Maybe I actually have to be the silent worker behind the scenes, maybe what cancerian was for a long time. I feel like we had somebody that I'm dancing around it, but I'll say it in a soft way. This person is good-hearted, but they also have a little tendency to be a show-off in this story. Please remember, these are fictional stories about fictional characters. This is simply the perspective that comes out of these stories is what we look for, right? Because it's all food for thought. And I think in this storyline, if I were to back up and say, okay, big picture, what is this story about? It is a character, a cancerian character in this story has recognized that them sacrificing their dreams or the money that they need to earn to move their own life forward in a direction that feels calmer and less chaotic is really important, because if they don't do that, they're going to burn out. If they keep sacrificing to make sure someone else gets to live the quality of life that they want, or have the business that they want, the business role that they want to play, if cancerian sacrifices their own needs in order to basically piggyback ride the CEO on their shoulders, that doesn't work for very long. Maybe it already has worked for a while, but that needed to come to a close. And this person who has been really enjoying the situation that they had, because cancerian was very supportive and it was allowing them to have this really wonderful role, a role kind of in the spotlight, a role where they felt affluent, or they felt well respected, or they felt like they were in the public eye. That's something they need to figure out how to do that without cancerian being the person whose shoulders they stand on to push them up into the public light. So I think that needed to come to a close, is so that they could learn how to do the thing that they say they really care about, or live the place that they want to live at, while they pay for it. By the way, I just spit. Final message here for cancerian. As cancerian moves forward, this cancerian didn't even have time to date. They didn't have time to pursue romance. I think they were sacrificing a lot more than just finances or hopes, wishes, and dreams. This cancerian has lots to go and do that's important, and people that they need to spend more time with. I think that this character over here, this Queen of Wands, could have been a masculine or a feminine. They started out as we started out seeing them as a masculine, then they shifted over to a feminine. Doesn't matter. I never read for genders. But I think that this person monopolized so much of cancerian's time, resources, and energy that cancerian is just now getting a chance to reconnect, bond with soulmates, with family members that they maybe haven't seen in a while, maybe start dating and having a romance. I think so many personal relationships were being blocked and stunted by how much cancerian had been expected to give, or kind of manipulated into giving to this other scenario. And now that has stopped, their first order of business is to reconnect with the people they really care about, that are, their personal relationships. So I'm going to leave that one there, because I like the way that's going. I like the decompression of all of this for the cancerian. So all right, so our first winner of a free card pull is Amy-NE1LL. So Amy, thanks so much for being a part of my world and my channel. All right, so as I always say, this is going to be an inspirational message. Please bear in mind, I am not a psychic. I'm not going to tell you anything about how your life is, how it needs to go. I don't do that. This is all just sheer food for thought, fun, and entertainment. So bear that in mind. No joke. The message we just got was the Chariot. Oh my goodness. So, if the message is the Chariot, that is about moving forward, of course, but it's also the Cancerian. But this card in particular is one of my favorite Chariot cards. So, dolphins are one of the few animals, aside from humans, that mate not just for procreation, but for enjoyment. Dolphins tend to be very fun loving, they're very intelligent, and this wonderful sense of freedom. And you can see that these dolphins are out running this boat, and there's a duo of them. I'm going to say, much like this storyline, I feel like this message just kind of expands upon that. We could have for our character, the message is to move forward, lean into the adventures that give us the greatest joy, also to stand in cancerian's most powerful energy, which of course is the emotional, the sensitive, the intuitive energy. It's really time to come out of that little crab shell and just completely enjoy basking in the emotions, because that is a cancerian strength as well. Bonding, making emotional bonds and ties of joy this time, though. If our Cancerian for this storyline hadn't had much time for happy emotional bonds, it's time for the really good ones now. Maybe 2024 as a whole is a year that's going to have really lovely and equal partnerships, someone to play with, someone to laugh with, someone to enjoy life with. And it's funny how I think that they're going to be a trendsetter also. The boat is following the dolphins. I feel like this could be a year where perhaps our character is actually going to be setting the tone, showing like, this is the way forward. Let's do something wonderful. Let me set up a party. Let me host this. Let me get people interested, involved in going somewhere, taking a little trip. It doesn't even mean that Cancerian has to be the person who organizes, whatever the hike. It could be Cancerian tells a group of colleagues, coworkers, friends, whatever, hey, did you know that there's some awesome, whatever, new tapas bar in town? I want to go check it out. And a bunch of people are like, I want to go. That sounds like fun. It could be that where Cancerian goes, the party follows. It feels like people want to be around this beautiful energy. And who wouldn't want to be around that kind of beautiful energy? There's a lot of joy, there's a lot of happiness, and there's a lot of good vibes in this story. That's lovely. It's about time that we get some really nice cards. Anyway, that was a delightful card to have pop out. All right, my dear, thank you. And thank you everybody out there. I will pull another card for some winner in the next Cancerian video, which that one will be on Monday. All right, bye guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.